What's up, everybody? I want to make this video on some current astrological stuff going on, in particularly the Libra full moon and Venus in Taurus. So this Libra full moon took place. It was last night around 10-ish on the West Coast. And around, I guess, 1-ish on the East Coast. And as we know, full moons are about learning to let go what doesn't serve us. It's about releasing and coming into balance. And Libra is also a sign that is all about balancing things. They are the scales. Libra represents relationships. Libra represents, consensual or non-consensual agreements. So they also have, they also govern like legal matters and stuff like that, contracts and things of that nature, and just like regular disputes or conflicts, opposing polar forces, trying to work a balance, a mutual agreement of energy, an exchange that where both sides can be happy and establish a happy medium. However, this full moon kind of doesn't, maybe a little hard to reach that. There's a few things going on with this full moon. The thing is, Libra is all about interpersonal relations, and our we're going to deal with a lot of interpersonal issues or things. May not necessarily be all bad, but there is tensions that are rising with this full moon, due to the fact that it is square Jupiter in Cancer. So we have it. The full moon is here at 12 degrees Libra, opposite the 12 degrees Sun in Aries. And it's forming this T-square. The sun and moon is forming this T-square to this 15-degree Jupiter in Cancer. And this, with the sun and moon in a T-square here with Jupiter, there's probably some rising tension related to our emotional wellness and aligning our emotional wellness with our growth with Jupiter in Cancer. And this can be related to relationship dynamics, because it's Libra, as it's squaring in Jupiter in Cancer, which means it could be from the home and family front. And this may pertain to beliefs, since it's Jupiter. So relationship dynamics within the home and family front pertaining to beliefs or philosophy, maybe, in some sense, or just, tension in relation to what you believe and what they believe, or however way you might experience it. And this is, right now it might kind of feel like there's a struggle to emotionally connect, or to connect emotionally for the way we had hoped for things to be right now. It may kind of feel like that. And we must let go. We must let go and balance whatever doesn't emotionally fulfill our growth that pertains to relationships, connections, that don't make us feel good. And we must learn to basically stand in our own truth. The ruler of this full moon, which is Venus, had it just moved into Taurus. Where am I? Over here, yeah. It just moved into Taurus. It's just about at the 3rd degree of this full moon. It is now, and so a lot of this full moon is dispositing into this energy of Venus and Taurus, and this is actually helping us to ground and stabilize and rebalance our personal value system, so that we can, as long as we're patient, we can attract goodness into our life. This means money, resources, possessions, luxury, stuff of that nature. And it's just really kind of about trying to enjoy simplicity and the finer things in life, and taking a break from all the chaos right now with a more calm and serene state of being, and just allow yourself to relax in comforts and pleasures, as long as we don't overindulge or waste away with laziness, which is also something we may need to watch for with Venus and Taurus. But the thing is, with all that said about Venus and Taurus, it is technically pretty much within the square now to Pluto in Aquarius. And that is kind of creating a dynamic where we need to kind of cut ties and break apart some unhealthy attachments in order to truly stand in our truth, and also while deepening the connections that are real and true. So there's also, I see that, knowing that Venus and Pluto are within square, as Venus is the dispositor of this full moon, there's also tensions towards pleasing ourselves and bringing out the best version of ourselves, with the Pluto wanting to purify, and but the square is causing tension there. And so it's about like kind of getting out of our own Venus and Taurus little conditioned bubble of how we like things to be and what we want to indulge in with life, and then feeling the pressure to break out of some of that to be a part of the bigger and greater good and a better version of ourselves for humanity. And that's kind of another part of this tension of this full moon that's going on, and with Venus and Taurus squaring Pluto there. But all in all, I feel like this full moon is kind of helping us to, or it's, as long as we understand these energies and we're going about it correctly and working through it, it's really, I feel like it's supposed to help us figure out how to belong to what and who truly matters, to belong to what matters and to who in our life truly matters. Because the Venus square Pluto, it's about also learning how to value and deepen existing connections that are worth, that are valuable, that are truly valuable in our life, that are worth our time and our sacrifice. But there still is that element to still balance and take a break from the chaos and just try to be as in a calm and as serene state of being as possible. But we are feeling that dynamic pressure where we're also like, we could be a little frustrated with our motivation, with all these Aries energies brewing, but still having all this Pisces going on, and the Aries energy, Mars, dispositing into Pisces, with Mars and Pisces there. So, but this is really the last lunation cycle of release before we get to the Aries new moon, where things really this is a very much a clearing up of many messes that we have to meet a deadline with in order to get to the Aries new moon and really get involved with all these new zodiacal cycles and resets from all the all the Pisces energy moving into Aries energy. Because by the Aries new moon on around the 17th, I believe, everything will be reset, and Mercury and Mars will be in Aries as well. So all these zodiacal cycles will be starting anew in Aries. And this is like the final release of balance and letting go and finding out what no longer serves us. But it is going to serve some frustrations to work through and a lot of strict balancing, and applying yourself when motivation is hard to pull together a bit. So yeah, I think that this is a very vital full moon moving forward. Like, we must balance things now. This is like a double dose of balance, with Libra being the sign of balance in the scales, and the full moon, the sun and moon opposite. You know, it's all about letting go what doesn't serve and finding the correct balance. Otherwise, full moons create a lot of erratic energy, a lot of intense situations and stuff, which this full moon may not lack, but there are ways around it, and there are certain things that we can do to balance the way we manage our time with the energies involved of what I've spoke of. So yeah, I think that this is an important full moon, and it's kind of going off of the releasing dynamic that I was talking about with the Saturn sextile to Pluto, which is still technically happening here. Yeah, Aries is still at 5 degrees, and Pluto's at 5 degrees Aquarius. Saturn's in Aries 5 degrees. Pluto's in 5 degrees Aquarius. So yeah, the sextile is, you know, bringing a lot of psychological dormant emotions to the surface to make clear of. But we have to know what to do with that aspect in order to, you know, because I spoke about how it's very much not about validating the way we feel anymore, but really having ownership of the way we feel now with the sextile to between Pluto and Saturn. There's no ifs, ands, or buts when Pluto and Saturn make an aspect. It's 100% responsibility or else. So take that in mind with this full moon energy, because it's carrying over that sextile with Saturn and Pluto. So yeah, this definitely a strong and heavy-hitting new full moon, but there are some good things around the edges if we just, you know, take the time to work with them and just, you know, push ourselves beyond the feeling of possibly not feeling super motivated. But as long as we push ourselves and, you know, try, we should tap into finding the most reasonable balance of the tensions that are rising right now and how to transmute them, because the sextile with Pluto and Saturn is really giving us that opportunity to find the clarity there of these deeper psychological dormant forces of energy that may be bubbling up. So anyway, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. For all of you, don't just take care, but give care too, and I will see you at the next video.